I'm joined now in the studio by Philippe Marlière, who's a professor of French and European politics at the University of London. Quite remarkable scenes we've seen from Paris and actually in other cities in the country as well. How long could this industrial action last for? Do we know yet?
We don't know yet, but I think the first signs are pretty good for the people who took to the street today. I think 1.5 million, according to the organizers, the union. I think it ranks very high on the scale of social movements in France. If you compare to the last very big movements against already a pension plan of the then Juppé government under Chirac in 1995, I think the first day of strike was the number of participants in a strike was lower than today. So I think it looks good. It's a success for the organizers.
Might be too early to say, but given the magnitude of what is happening, protests across many different cities and across many industries, how might President Emmanuel Macron be viewing this?
I think Macron has been so far very cautious because he knows it's a very sensitive topic. Well, again, 24 years ago, it led to the resignation of a prime minister. So he's very careful about it. He's walking on a minefield. I think he will be ready probably to concede, to make concessions. It will depend on the rapport de force, between the people on strike and himself. And I think for the time being, it's early days because we don't know yet the contents of the bill. That there's really people are taking to the street.
That's the interesting part, is that we don't have all the information yet. But
no.
So then why such a strong reaction?
I think it's a preemptive strike, if you like, because people are very wary and afraid of what might be in the bill. So probably what also is quite remarkable is normally it is a type of strike which would be involving people working in the public sector. That's not the case this time around. You have people, independent workers, farmers, lawyers, people working in the private sector, professionals. So that shows how big and the scale also of the worry regarding this bill, which we don't know about yet exactly. But clearly Macron is ready to make concessions, but I think he shall be looking at how many people are still in the street today and in the next few days. I think we shall see then.
So the next few days and weeks are going to be crucial to President Emmanuel Macron's calculations in terms of how he proceeds. But given the paralysis and the disruption this has caused, not just in the capital, but all around the country, are protests and demonstrations on this scale really sustainable? Will it continue to attract this sort of mass support that you say, or could it just fizzle out?
I think it will depend on a number of things. I think, first of all, the support, will it weaken or not? I think that's the first thing. And also, it will depend how the demonstrations, what will happen in the streets. If there's, for instance, violence, probably will look either bad on the side of the demonstrators or bad on the side of Macron if it involves police brutality. So it will depend on a number of things.
There has been some criticism of the way security forces have responded.
Yes, I think not simply today, but I think with regards to the Yellow Vest movement, I think there's been clearly documented cases of police brutality. So people are wary of that. And I think you could say even some French people wanted to take to the street, didn't do it today out of fear that, they might be brutalized by the police. So all in all, I think the numbers are pretty impressive.
Thank you very much, Professor Philippe Marlière from UCL here in London. Thank you.